So the year is 2001, and it's July the 14th, which, as you may know, is Bastille Day, a celebration of the French Revolution. And I'm on assignment in French Saint Martin in the Caribbean to take photographs for a magazine to tell a story of that side of the island. And the mood is very celebratory that day, and so I venture over to Marigot, which is the capital of French Saint Martin. And there's a big market going on there that day, and people are in a really good mood. It's a bank holiday, and there's a lot of color. People are wearing colorful clothes, and the market is really busy with tourists and locals alike. And I'm strolling around Marigot with my camera bag, having a really good time and getting some pretty decent material. One of the things on this particular assignment, though, is that the client has asked me to shoot not only my usual 35mm slides, but also medium format slides. And I've rented a Hasselblad, which, as you may know, is a rather expensive camera, to do the photo shoot. So it's a little heavier than usual, the bag, and I've got to switch, from the square format mode to 35mm, and it's a little bit more complicated than usual. But I'm having a whale of a time in Marigot there. I'm getting some really good material, and out of the corner of my eye, I see these young boys over by the harbor wall, and they're jumping into the harbor, and it's quite a long way. It's about 12, 16 feet, and they're diving off, and they're jumping off, and they're having a whale of a time. So I say to myself, this is going to make a really good human aspect to the story. So I move over to the harbor wall, but I detach myself somewhat because I don't want them to know that I'm taking pictures of them yet. So I put a 300mm lens on my Nikon F3, and I move, I would say, about 80 yards away, something like that. And I'm taking pictures of these boys jumping into the harbor. And my interior dialogue is getting really excited, and I'm saying, this is the front cover of the magazine. All these water droplets that are throwing up in the air, they look like diamonds. And the boys are having such a fantastic time. It's very expressive. And as I'm having this interior dialogue, this dude comes behind me, shoves me in the back, and I go plunging into the harbor with my frickin' rented Hasselblad and all my 35mm equipment in tow. There's a little Roadrunner moment where I feel like I've got a chance of saving my ass, but I plunge like a stone into the Caribbean. Luckily, I used to be a lifeguard, and as I enter the water, I start kicking my feet as fast as possible to tread water. I look over to the side, and luckily there's a ladder that leads to the top of the harbor wall. And so I get myself over to this ladder, and I start to pull myself up. 1, 2, 3, 4. This damn camera bag's really heavy. It's full of water. 5, 6, 7. And I pull myself up to view my nemesis. But it ain't just one dude. There's 20 youths baying for blood. And I say to myself, oh shit, what am I going to do with this situation? But out of me comes this fight or flight response. And suddenly I'm Rambo. And I scream at the top of my lungs, what have you done? And they charge me and push me straight back in the water. This time, no Roadrunner. Sink straight to the bottom. And I kick my feet back up again, and I go through the whole process. I get back up to the water surface, and I swim over to the ladder, and I start that freaking climb again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I look over the top of the harbor wall, and there they all are. They're all cheering. They're all completely on top of their game. And I'm at the bottom of my game. I'm completely humiliated. Of course, what are you going to do? So I realized at that moment that this could get really dodgy, like seriously violent. And I say to myself, well, my Rambo act, that didn't work. So maybe I can try, Gandhi. So what I do is I make myself as small as possible. I quieten my whole energy down as much as I can, and I walk really slowly directly into the crowd where I see the ringleader. And he's like 6'3", he's like 220 pounds, and he's this big guy. And I lock eyes on this man, and I don't say anything to him, but I just walk really gently towards him. And you know what? The crowd opened like the Red Sea. It was really quiet, everything quietened down. And I walked straight towards that guy, and he looked at me, and he just let me go. And I went off into Marigot Market. So, you may ask, what happened to the film? So, no film for that day, obviously, you know. But the rest of the film from the week's shoot, luckily this was the last day of the shoot, was back in the hotel. So I managed to save most of the shoot, but of course that day's film had gone, you know, and my rented Hasselblad, that had gone too, and all my Nikon equipment, that had gone too, and none of it was insured. So my first message to you is, insure your damn equipment. But the second one, probably more important, is not only do you have to be mindful about what's going on in the viewfinder, you got to be mindful about what's going on around you too. So remember that next time you're out shooting. Thank you very much. My name's Robin Hill. Safe journey and safe shooting out there.